Earlier today, I caught up with Mr. Y.M. Deosthalee. He's not only the CFO of the capital goods sector, he also was voted the CFO of the year for India. And that, of course, put him in a different pedestal altogether. I began by asking him exactly that. Being the CFO of the year makes him a representative of the industry, of the entire category, as it were, not just of L&T. And from that perch, how is he looking at the entire capex cycle? Has it really resumed? And this is what he had to say.
To some extent, yes. You see, we have seen a lot of activity in the automobile sector. We have seen activity in some parts of infrastructure like power, for example. Many projects are today at varied stages of implementation. Some are reaching financial closure, some are under implementation. There's a lot of activity there. In some areas, there is still excess capacity, and therefore people are very cautious in terms of adding capacity. So it's a mixed bag. In the hydrocarbon sector, there is an activity. There is activity in India as well as in the Gulf region. But overall, I don't think that the capex cycle has written back fully. We will have to wait and watch for a few more months. It is also reflected in the very poor credit uptake in the recent past from the banking sector. It's a different matter that people have raised money from capital markets, but at the same time, many sectors are not drawing money from the banking sector, and therefore, I don't think that we are seeing very robust capex movement in the market today from the industrial front.
Well, that brings me, Mr. Deosthalee, that brings me to L&T itself. When you declared your first half results, you had expressed problems of some projects not being able to achieve financial closure and therefore that getting reflected in the revenues. How do you think the second half will pan out? I mean, you will have to do at least 45% revenues to get to your yearly target. Do you think that much is possible?
Let me first explain what we had said. We had said that there are two reasons for the subdued growth in sales. Number one, on the industrial front, that is the equipment side, industrial equipment side, last 6 months of the last year was a disaster, and the momentum is picking up very slowly. And therefore, as compared to the previous year, first 6 months of the last year were extremely good for industrial equipment like construction equipment or equipment which we manufacture for industrial valves, petrochemical industry or for hydrocarbon industry. It was an excellent period, April to September, and October to December was complete contrast. So based on that, first 6 months of this year were subdued because the recovery has been slow. That is one. The second thing is, what I had said is that some of the projects which we received last year, there was a delay in financial closure, as a result of which conversion of those orders into revenue is taking a little longer. But having said that, one point we need to understand clearly, L&T today carries a 90,000 crore order book, and this order book has to be converted into revenues. We are not carrying dead orders in this order book. It's a different matter that some of these orders are going to be executed over a period of 3 years, 3.5 years, but they will get converted into revenues. And therefore, in any case, the second half should be better than the first half in any case. And we have indicated that for the year as a whole, we will have a growth of 15% or so in our revenues. That is based on our budgeting exercise, and that is also based on the current outlook as far as the execution is concerned. So, one point is that the revenues should pick up. In any case, the next year revenue should be much better. That is one. Secondly, in terms of order book, also we have revised our guidance and outlook. We are saying that for the year as a whole, our order book, our order inflow growth will be in excess of 30%. So that's the kind of indication which we have given, and I think we stick to that.
Okay. Mr. Deosthalee, let me digress to another unit of L&T. We understand that you all did some road shows for L&T IT a few weeks back. What's the intention? What is your game plan going forward with L&T IT? Is it to discover valuations so that you can merge it with some other company, buy up some other company after the Satyam experiment or attempt? Will you be looking at other smaller companies like, say, Patni or something? What is your intention with L&T IT and the purpose of discovering valuations?
Lata, I don't know from where we got this information that we did some road shows. I don't think we did any road shows for L&T Infotech.
In any case, what is the game plan?
But let me explain.
Yeah,
I'll explain the game plan. See, L&T Infotech, along with the engineering services business, which is housed in the parent company, today is about $500 million, which is in the probably in the tier 2 segment today, in the information technology business. We definitely need to reach the $1 billion mark at the earliest, because that's the critical mass which is required for you to be called for bigger jobs, for you to be invited for bids for larger contracts. So I think that is very critical. Now, we thought that Satyam was an extremely good transaction for us, and therefore we submitted a bid. It's a different matter that we didn't succeed. So what is required to be done is, organically or inorganically, this company needs to go to that $1 billion mark at the earliest, because otherwise it will be difficult for this company to grow on a sustainable basis with robust profitability and bottom line for the value to be created for our shareholders. So that's what we need to achieve. Now, whether we will do one acquisition, whether we'll do acquisitions, that's something which we are not finalized. There are possibilities, but one thing I want to make abundantly clear, we are not looking at Patni. L&T Infotech is not at all looking at Patni, or we've not written anything to them. So I think that this is something which we need to be absolutely clear.
All right.
But yes, there could be some synergetic options. There is a possibility if we come across any opportunity for, say, a company with $150-200 million, which is very synergetic to what L&T Infotech does, we will look at that. And I think because ultimately growth is very important for this company.
So running out of time, but one last quick question to you. You have won the Mahajan Co order, which increases your market share in that supercritical category. Is this coming at the cost of margins?
Not really. We are not compromising margins for booking business. Because we have very assiduously improved our margins over the last few years, and it's extremely important for us to maintain those margins going forward. So we are not running after growth. We are very conscious of maintaining profitability, and in all the businesses in which we are in, including power, we are consciously working on maintaining margins.
So growth is on track. Execution will be the key talking point in the second quarter.
And two possible acquisitions, one or two in the IT space.
$150-200 million, but all you Patni traders, he's categorically said that he is not looking at